Hello and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Today is going to be the final episode. We are finally going to resolve all of this craziness that's going on right now. Last episode we ended up consummating our relationship with Hanako, should we say, even though we don't even know what that relationship is. We just fucked her, basically. So we'll see what the aftermath of that brings right now. Still in her room? That's a good sign. My eyes feel heavy as they slowly open, the light from outside making me blink a bit to let them get adjusted. My body feels like lead, and my head feels just as heavy. Well, imagine how Hanako's poor body is feeling. Waking up to an unfamiliar ceiling is an uncomfortable feeling. It reminds me of the first time I awoke to the dimpled white tile ceiling of the hospital. It's only after spending a few seconds staring up at it that I realize where I am. This is Hanako's dormitory room. You just forgot? You forgot all of the stuff that just okay. I feel as though my heart stopped again as the events of last night rushed through my head. Blood rushes to my cheeks and I shut my eyes once more. There's very little point to getting myself worked up this early though, so I try to push such things out of my mind for now. I roll my head to the side to see if Hanako's where she was when I drifted off to sleep. All that's there now is an empty space on the bed and the room beyond. She run away? I sluggishly sit up and rub my eyes before pinching the bridge of my nose and looking around the room. Yeah, you need to take your pills and stuff, right? The only person here is me. I'm still bereft of my clothes, and after a quick scan of the floor for them, I notice that they're neatly folded in a corner of the room. Try as I might, I can't see Hanako's anywhere. The foil packet for the condom's been removed too, presumably put into the bin. With a great yawn, I get myself out of bed and quickly look for some underwear. I grimace a little at the prospect of putting my boxers back on after yesterday's efforts did a job on them, but I don't have much choice. Taking advantage of the fact that I have some time without anyone around, I get myself dressed for the school day in short order, and then I'm alone. Without anything more to busy myself with, my mind becomes focused on the fact that I'm standing in another person's bedroom after we spent the night together, but there's not a single sign of her around. My gut proves to be more helpful than my brain at working out this riddle. With a loud growl, it reminds me that she may well just be getting breakfast. I would have liked to wake up next to her, but maybe it's a good thing that I have a few moments alone. Hanako's room, as always, is quite bleak in appearance. There are a precious few decorations and practically no personal artifacts that aren't hidden away in cupboards and drawers. She's lived here for almost 3 years, but the room looks as if it's barely been occupied for a single day, probably because she doesn't have anything. She came from an orphanage, she has no money, she's got no parents, no relatives. So what do you expect? Fucking Buckingham Palace? I shouldn't overthink this. She might just be living this way as some do. Having the ability to put such low stock on physical possessions does have its advantages, but even so, it feels a little disconcerting given her past. She said she viewed herself as having had her life on hold while at the orphanage. She certainly lives as if she still does, but after what happened last night, it's pretty hard to imagine that she still thinks that way. Really, because you're just the fucking savior that comes in and saves her with your fucking penis that she didn't want inside her in the first place. The sound of the door handle cracks through my thoughts, and I turn to face it. Sure enough, Hanako comes through and shuts the door behind her. She has what seems to be 2 microwaved instant meals in her hands, so this is a little difficult. Good morning, Hanako. Morning. She gives a little bow before making her way to her desk, setting down both plates. I can now see them to be small sauté dishes, their contents steaming, with a fork stuck inside the rice of each. For breakfast? Ew. I give thanks to her for bringing them in, and we each take one and get down to eating. She sits on her desk chair while I sit on the side of the bed. See, if she was really into you, she'd be sitting next to you, mate. I don't like talking while eating, so the silence between us isn't annoying in and of itself. It's the fact that it only exists because we don't know what to say to each other that's off-putting. Hanako glances towards me every so often as she eats. I only notice her doing so because I'm doing just the same thing. We're eating together as if we were a couple. We even had sex last night, a first for both of us. Something feels wrong, though. I wonder what? Maybe that's why we can't say even a word to each other as we finish our plates and leave them in the sink. She's got a sink in her room? That's weird. Maybe that's why we leave Hanako's room without holding hands or making small talk. Maybe that's why it feels as if we're further apart than we've ever been before. Pro tip, if you don't want to put strain on your relationship, perhaps don't have sex with them unless they want it. We enter the classroom together, neither of us so much as glancing at each other. Just after we do so, I realize that this may have been a mistake. Shizune shifts her eyebrow at the sight, her suspicions raised. You didn't have a shower? You didn't change your clothes? We reach the center aisle between the classroom's desks and look to each other. I'm not quite sure what I should say. Does she want me to address her as her girlfriend? I don't think our relationship was... Oh, that's why this feels so strange. See you. Okay? I awkwardly hold up a hand as we part and take our seats at our respective desks. I can't even look back to her out of embarrassment. I feel like the gulf between Hanako and me is because of me. It most definitely is. You're a douchebag. You're a dickhead. Shizune begins to make her way towards me, but then Muto enters the room. Oh, saved by the moots. I'm thankful for his arrival being so well timed, drawing Shizune and her questioning away to wait for another time. I wouldn't have been able to answer her anyway. I like Hanako, but I've never told her what my feelings for her are. Yeah, you should probably have started with that before just plunging your dick into her. Hanako never said she saw me as anything beyond a friend either, yet despite that, we slept together. The bell to signal the beginning of lunch rings out. Muto is taken a little off guard, his chemistry lecture being cut off mid-sentence, much to his chagrin. For the entirety of the class, his rambling has passed through one ear and out the other as my mind mulls over the question of Hanako. I can't get her out of my mind, and by now I've managed to wind myself up about it. I realize that she never said yes to what we did. Fucking finally! Finally! Too late! It's fucking too late! She didn't say no either, but would she have been able to? Oh my god, all of these questions really should have come in about probably 12 or so hours ago. She's extremely submissive at the best of times. Fucking hell, Hasayo. And no doubt it took her a gargantuan effort to show me her scarring, and then I took full fucking advantage of her afterwards. Makes me so mad. Why didn't you think about this fucking beforehand? I decided to try and at least make conversation with her. Wow, what a gentleman. Don't do yourself any fucking favors, mate. That would be better than the monosyllabic communication that's been the most we've managed between each other so far today. Hui. I walk to her desk intending to chat, but she awkwardly blushes and looks down even before I've come up to her. I take a breath to speak, but I find myself lost for words. What in the world should I say to her? Hearing approaching footsteps, I turn to see Shizune and Misha already making their way towards us, no doubt with the intent to start asking troublesome things. It's only troublesome because you know you're in the wrong. A couple of other classmates are looking at us and gossiping between themselves as they throw sidelong glances. They must also have noticed Hanako and me coming in together earlier. I open my mouth to reassure Hanako, but she preempts me. She looks mad. I've got to go do something. Yeah. She gets out of her chair and dashes for the door. A couple of the books and pens that were on her desk are sent flying to the floor in her rush. Oh, God. Not many people seem to care about this event. A few look around to see what all the fuss is about, but go back to whatever they were previously doing soon after. I'm left despairingly looking at the door that Hanako disappeared out of. The idea of running after her passes through my mind. Nope, don't do that. But I'm fairly sure that Hanako can run faster than I can. Also, I should just respect her desires to want to not be anywhere near me right now. But no, that doesn't cross my mind. And besides, what would I say to her once I caught up anyway? Are you okay? Sorry? Can we talk? Eventually, I simply crouch down and begin picking up the items that had fallen to the ground from her desk. You guys, you're exactly what we need. I feel a tap on my shoulder. I look up to see Shizune and Misha looking at me, curiosity about the situation written on their faces, mixed with a slightly apologetic look at the idea that they were partially responsible for what just happened. How? In what planet were they responsible for what just happened? Hee-chan, if we can help at all... Do you have a time machine? I just shake my head. This isn't a matter for them, and from Shizune's expression and the tone of Misha's voice, I think they know the same thing. See you guys. Shizune acknowledges my response and gives a solemn bow before making her way out of the room. Misha soon follows her out, obediently following her role as Shizune's shadow. I pick myself up, books and pens in hand, and place them inside Hanako's desk. With the classroom now empty, I end up leaning against her desk and thinking to myself in silence. I feel like there's a complete emotional disconnect between Hanako and me. I tried to be a friend to Hanako, even though I couldn't tell her my feelings, and all we've done is drive each other apart. All you've done is drive each other apart. I couldn't even write a letter back to the one girl who ever loved me, Iwanako. What should I do? What can I do? I simply don't know the answer to either of those questions. Something changed between us last night. Maybe it changed beforehand, and it just came to a head then. I know there's a wall that Hanako has between me and her. I've been hitting that wall every time I try to interact with her on any level. But now I'm beginning to think that I have my own wall between us, just as much as she does. She had to practically drag my past out of me, and mine was much less traumatic than hers. Yeah, he's a selfish little child. He's a child. I want to say it's because I haven't had long to adjust since my heart attack, but I know full well that would just be an excuse. The one that's getting pretty old as well. I want to know Hanako better. I want to save our friendship. If not, begin a real relationship with her. I have to talk to Hanako. I pace around in the park, feelings of anxiety rolling over me. Every so often I reach into my pocket to take out my phone, but each and every time I hesitate and end up slipping it back in. If this were any normal situation, I wouldn't be cutting classes. Unfortunately, it isn't, so I find myself in the town below the school at 2 p.m. Ever since I met Hanako, I've been the one to initiate everything between us. The one that started the conversations, went to her wherever she was, and suggested what we should do. Today, this once, I don't want to be the one doing that. My hand dives into my pocket once more. This time, I quickly navigate to the texting menu before I have a chance to change my mind again. Hanako, if you want to talk, I'll be at the park in town for a while. Fighting a last measure of doubt, I thumb in my message to Hanako and press the button to send it. And now, I wait. My part in this has been fulfilled. What needs to happen now is for Hanako to make the decision. It would be meaningless for me to drag her here. She needs to decide for herself whether she wants to meet me. The apple juice from the vending machine tastes awfully bitter as I swill it down. My grip on the can has caused it to dent slightly in the middle. I shouldn't be this tense, but it's probably inevitable. Hanako is dear to me, then treat her like it. Stop treating her like a child. Stop treating her like an object that you just need to fix. What happened in the last couple of days has put a lot of pressure on both of us. The idea of losing all the progress we've made in coming closer to one another, and losing our friendship as a whole, is deeply unsettling. But even then, I still don't really know how close we are. We may have had sex, but before that, all I knew us to be was friends. Maybe we are more than that, but if so, I never realized it. Maybe that's why I feel so uneasy right now. I don't understand Hanako despite all the time we've spent together. The minutes are ticking by, and I still have no idea whether she'll show up. Hisaya? I pause for a moment, almost not believing that I'm hearing the voice that I'm hearing. I drop the can and stand up with a start. Hanako. We look at each other for a few seconds before Hanako becomes too embarrassed to maintain eye contact and begins to nervously fiddle with the roughly cut lock of hair covering the side of her face. When I went to see Hanako in her room by herself after her breakdown, I had no idea what to say. That was fine. Then. All either of us wanted was each other's presence. Now, though, I feel like I need to talk to her directly. I want to break down this wall between us, even if it forces us apart for good. Hanako, what we did that night, how should I interpret that? As non-consensual sex? Probably. And why are you asking her? She should be asking you. You're the one that did it. Hanako stops playing with her hair and looks at me, her head cast slightly downwards. She looks ashamed, which is probably a good mirror of how I would look right now if I wasn't so concerned. I thought you might eventually go away if I was only someone you needed to protect. I thought that if I let you do that, you might see me as someone more than that. My first reaction is disbelief, but I did do it with her, after all. I had plenty of opportunities where I could have stopped things, stepped back, and questioned what we were doing. In the end, though, I didn't. A horrible feeling raises itself in the pit of my stomach. She offered herself to me because of what she thought I wanted. And now, it feels like I took advantage of her. Only now, it feels like that, Hiseo, really. She may have been willing, but only under false premises. Yeah. I've never been any good at hiding my emotions from physically showing, and now is no different. Hanako looks down once more, a strange mixture of depression, regret, sickness written on her face. That is victim remorse, or victim guilt, or whatever they call it. Thick silence hangs in the air, save for the breeze blowing around the trees around us. I knew you couldn't look at me that way. Hanako's words are said in a little more than a whisper, seemingly directed just as much at herself as to me. In what way? What do you mean? All I ever was to you was a useless person, just someone to protect, someone like a child. I wanted to be more to you than that, but after so long, I got used to it. The tone of her voice is unlike any I've heard her use before. She sounds disgusted, not at me, but at herself. After I came out of my room, I saw that you had started drifting away. I felt like I was going to lose you because you wanted somebody you could have that kind of relationship with. You were more quiet in school than before, and you were getting on so well with Yuko. I thought that I might lose you. She thought I was bored of her because I wanted a romantic relationship. But we're friends, right? I wouldn't just abandon you like that, even if what you're saying is true. Friendship was something I thought I'd given up on. I stopped believing in others after what happened, after the accident. Before the accident happened, I got on well with people and other children. I didn't have many friends, but I didn't mind because I treasured the ones that I had. Afterwards, though, I was called names by the others and teased a lot, and it hurt really deeply. The teachers tried to help, but they couldn't do much. And even many of them recoiled just at the sight of me. Among those calling me names and teasing me were the ones that I thought were my closest friends. So from then on, I believed that it didn't matter if nobody else acknowledged me. All my existence ever did was make people troubled after all. It was easier if I just didn't exist. But after meeting Lily, and then you, I tried, but I couldn't make myself think that way again. All that time, she didn't trust me. She thought, just like everyone else in her life had, that she was worthless. Someone to throw away once I got bored of being with her. That hurts. That's the one kind of person I never ever wanted to be seen as, because I know better than most just how horrible it feels to be thrown away by those I thought liked me. She's cracking from the memories she's bringing up. I feel useless, completely unable to console her. You're not learning anything, Hiseo, if that's what you still think, that when she's upset you need to console her. That's the exact opposite of what she's trying to fucking say. In a strange way, though, I'm almost thankful that she's allowing me to know this. The wall between us is going away, even if it hurts so badly to bring it down. Hanako, if you just told me, was I wrong? Of course you... She wasn't. Hanako wasn't wrong. It's difficult to force myself to admit this, but I know trying to deny it is pointless. To me and to Lily, she was someone we tried to protect. She'd become to me what I'd become to my friends after the heart attack, a broken person. I liked her, possibly even loved her, but I never acted on that precisely because I thought she was so fragile. I mean, I don't look at you that way now. I got worried about you after what happened to you in class, and I thought I should try and protect you. When you locked yourself in your room, though, I got afraid. I thought you were rejecting me, and it forced me to think a lot about different things. I wasn't rejecting you. She blurts it out with an almost scared tone to her voice, taking me off guard. She quickly becomes embarrassed by her outburst before clenching her fists and working through what she wants to say in her mind. I wouldn't do that. Not to you. What, so you think we'd do it to you, but you'd never do it to us? Friendship. True friendship, right there. Even though I was scared, even though I tried to push you away, you still tried to get closer to me. I locked myself away because I was just a burden to you, to Lily, to everyone. Every birthday was the same, everyone doing their best to pretend that I mattered, everyone pretending everything was all right for that one day of the year. I didn't want to exist, but they wouldn't let me. Even after meeting Lily, everything was the same. I was as useless as I'd always been, unable to do anything for her or for myself. I didn't want to be the same way to you. Lily and I were completely wrong. From what she said, everything we did for her, it would have only made her feel worse. Even what little I thought I'd done right about her was a complete misjudgment. After you locked yourself in your room, I decided to try and work out my past as well and sort out my future. I didn't know how to deal with the things I'd lost by coming to Yamaku, so I was trying to sort them out myself. I thought it would help us become better friends if I did that. Silence hangs in the air again. I try to keep looking at her, but I can't. I feel really low, and though I want to apologize, I don't know how I possibly could. I hear her take a deep breath and only look back to her after hearing her drop to the ground. Oh shit. Oh no! Oh god, she's really breaking down. Oh my poor girl. I want to hug her so bad. I seriously just want to grab her, hold her, not fucking bone her. The sound of her crying breaks my heart. I know I'm responsible for this, and I know that I can't do anything to help her. If Hanako feels ashamed, then I feel all the more so. Good. You should. Aww. Well, we're quite cute. We actually are quite cute. I rush to her as tears continue to roll down her cheeks unabated, wrapping my arms around her. I don't care about how I must look anymore. I just want to be close to her right now. I'm sorry, Hiseo. I've messed up everything. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm the one that should be sorry. I was meddling around behind your back, and I never told you anything. I can feel my grip tightening on Hanako as my vision blurs. I can't be bothered trying to hold back now. I have to force my words out as a lump begins to stick in my throat. To tell you the truth, Hanako, I was scared. For the first time since my heart attack, I was really scared. Hiseo? I lost so much when I came to Yamaku. I was depending on you more than I ever thought I did. Even now, I still have that hole inside me. After losing my entire life and everyone I'd known, the thought of losing you as well. But I'm just useless. You're my friend, Hanako. You're more than that. I love you, Hanako. I love you so much that the thought of losing you frightened me so much. Okay, alright, I'm mixed emotions now. I'm enjoying this. This is really cute. This is really, really freaking cute. I didn't know he loved her. When did that happen? Holy shit, I wonder if she feels the same way. I like them as a couple because they have similar interests and they're actually very similar people. They overanalyze everything and they're caught up in their own brains way too much. So I feel like they will help each other out of their shell, but I never got the love connection quite yet. But, I mean, if that's you, and I'm happy for that. It's better than how I was feeling about you before. Let's just put it that way. This is bad. I'm really letting all of this out. I can't bring myself to look at her face right now. I'm sorry, Hiseo. I don't love you back. Imagine that. I can't help feeling a bit happy. For so long, that's what I've wanted to hear. The last of the floodgates breaks, the sound of her crying permeating the air as her body jerks against mine. We hold each other tightly, connected more closely than ever in our shared grief and our shared happiness. Wow, this is so bittersweet. I don't know how to feel about this. My emotions are like, as would theirs be, so I guess that's fitting. I don't know how things are going to be like after this. Right now, though, I don't care. There's no other person in the world that either of us could possibly share these memories and emotions with. Nobody. Very true. Wow. Okay. So we're in love. That's happened. That's a thing now. After dropping the dirtied can into a bin next to the bench, nice, I thought you were going to forget about that, but you didn't, good job. I take a seat beside Hanako. She puts away the handkerchief I gave her to clean herself up, which hasn't helped much. Then again, I doubt I look much more presentable. Even now, I feel emptied and a bit embarrassed after letting my emotions out in public like that. It's not a bad sensation, though. I think Hanako feels the same way, too. Have you calmed down a bit? Yes, thank you. For a while, we just sit and take our time before talking again to one another. We both need a little time to collect ourselves. The weather is nice at this time of year. Yeah, it is. Oh, is that it? No, I'm just closing my eyes. I close my eyes for a moment, relishing the feeling of the sun's heat and the cool breeze against my face. The weather really is nice today. Really, really nice. You know, I don't really want to go back to classes right now. Do you? She shakes her head as she finishes wiping her eyes with her cuff. The small smile she gives is nice, and it's a reminder of how earnest it can be. Smiling for other people might be a completely normal, everyday thing. For Hanako, though, she smiles so really and so sincerely that each and every time she does it, I feel a sense of relief and happiness. I'm sorry for everything. It's okay. I think we both have a bit to be sorry for. Not her. She's done nothing wrong. I know that I'm too shy. I know you don't want me to be, but I don't think I can... You can change, Hanako. I know that because even in the time I've known you, you've already changed. To be honest, just being able to sit here and talk to you like this means that you've changed a lot since we first met. But I can't be like that for anyone else. I don't have any plans for after school ends either, and Hanako's confidence begins to slide down again, but I think that now I can finally talk to her as an equal. I can do it because I know that we're just the same in so many ways. Just give yourself time, and I think you'll be able to achieve what you want. No, I'm sure that you'll be able to do it. I can see you've been trying, and I have faith in you. And you can depend on me if you feel like you need someone to support you, you know? But I can't ask that of you. Girl, I just told you I love you. You can, because that's exactly what I'm asking of you. I'm going through the same thing, you know? It's called love. Well, I think it's called apprehension, but yeah, sure, it's love. Once again, we're just making assumptions about what she wants. Hanako smiles before I get off the bench and dust myself off. She does the same in short measure. I'm kinda hungry. Wanna grab something to eat? She nods vigorously. The way she's smiling, the way she's acting, even just the general air she gives off, I feel as if that's the first time I've seen her genuinely happy. We both make our way onto the street, walking beside each other. Hisaya? Yeah? I think I don't really understand you. I don't think I understand you either. I believe that's fine, though. There's not a single hint of despair in our voices. Not understanding each other is only natural. The walls we set up between ourselves couldn't possibly be broken down in a single day. It hasn't been a single day. It's been a long time that you've known her now. But that's fine. As long as we take it day by day and try to understand one another, I think everything will be okay. As we walk down the street, though, Hanako's eyes flick to my face and back to the street repeatedly. Is something on your mind? You look restless. She slows before stopping completely. When I turn to meet her, she takes a long, deep breath, looking at my face intently. This expression, I saw it once before in her face, just once, when I accidentally surprised her in her room. I think I have something I need to give you. What is it? You don't need to be evasive about it. She's trying her best, Hanako. Just chill. I wanted to give you this for a long, long time now, but I need to... It's too embarrassing. Don't worry, I'll accept it, whatever it is. She gives a sweet, bashful smile before taking my shoulder in her hand. Then please accept my first gift to you, Hisayo. Hanako? yes. But I don't care because we're in love. And she does love me back. She wouldn't kiss me on her own accord unless she really, really, really meant it. Wow. Wow. I think that's it. We've got a little skip button. Yeah, we got the credits going on. Whoa! What a roller coaster. I feel like that's the good ending. I had my doubts for a long, long time. But yeah, that was surely the good ending, right? Because she kissed us. Wow. Who's that? Who are all these people? I guess these are people I can unlock if I do different girls. I really don't know if I'm going to do different girls or not. That was harrowing towards the end there. That was almost too much for me. Like, it's just a bit, you know what I mean? Maybe I overreacted. And everything's fine now. But that kind of scene, you know the one I'm talking, the rape scene, the non-consensual scene, was really, really disturbing. It was, I don't know. But I really enjoyed the game. I did. I enjoyed the girls. The girls made it. Hiseo was a little annoying. Kenji, absolute fave. Love Kenji to heaven and back. Even though he's a little, you know, but everyone here is. I think I'm going to play through the other girls, but not the other endings. And I'm not going to do full walkthrough playthroughs like I did for Hanako, because to me, Hanako was my genuine reaction to the game and my favorite girl, and my choices I made were my own personal choices. So to me, that's me playing the game and finishing the game. I'd never actually played a visual novel game before, so I didn't know that's what to expect. I thought it was going to be much more interactive. So I'm not sure if I enjoyed that element of it, but I really did like the story and I really did like the girls. And yeah, it was a good experience, I guess. If you enjoyed this playthrough, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And Happy New Year! It is now New Year's. So I will see you in 2018 for more, possibly more, not sure yet. Katawa Shoujo. Ja ne!